In this lesson in the SQL Fundamentals series, we'll work with the IN operator and is null. You need to have your MEC account and be logged in with SQL Server Management Studio open. You should also be familiar with concepts presented in earlier lessons in this series. We're going to look at some operators besides AND, OR, and NOT, which was covered in the previous lesson. The IN operator is a handy alternative to the OR operator, and we'll use that in the next screen. You also need to know how to work with null values, where you check if something is null or is not null. So, using IN instead of OR, let's get a list of students who are in these teams: IT pros, system designers, or technical solutions. If we do this with the OR operator, then we construct our SQL statement listing our columns in the select clause, our table in the from clause, and then we have to use 2 ORs in order to do 3 evaluations, 1 for each team. An alternative to this is to use IN, where we simply say where student team ID in, and then in parentheses we list the evaluations that we want, or values that we want to compare against. So if we look at this here in SQL Server Management Studio, I can run this using the OR operator, and I see the results here. But I can run the same, essentially answer the same question, but using the IN operator, and I get the same results. I'm just scrolling through so we can see that we have students who are in one of those 3 teams. So the result of using IN is you have a more succinct command. It's easier to read, and you don't have to worry about putting the parentheses around the OR statements. You can quickly get the inverse result by simply adding the word not. List students who are not in these teams. So we add that syntax, and the result is we have 2 students who have not been, or who are in a team other than the 3 that we listed. Working with null, which means an absence of data, we need to check to see in some cases when a field has not been populated. So let's get a list of students who have not been assigned to a team. That means their team ID field is not populated with data. So we construct our SQL command listing our columns in the select clause, students in the from clause, and now our evaluation is student underscore team ID is null. And so if we run that command, didn't get the whole command, then we see that we have 2 students who have not been assigned to a team. We can quickly get the inverse of that if we add the word not, list students who are assigned to a team. So then we get this list of students. So we have 2 students listed as not on teams and 13 students who have been assigned teams. So playing with the is null, is not null, let's do 3 examples here where we just do a count. Count how many students there are in total, how many have not been assigned to a team, and how many are assigned to a team. So here's our short SQL statement for how many students there are. We have 15. How many students have not been assigned to a team using the count function and is null in the where clause. We have 2 that have not been assigned. How many students have been assigned to a team using is not null, and we have 13. This is a good way to cross-check and make sure the output that you're getting seems accurate. So in this lesson we have covered operators that can serve as an alternative to using OR. That's the in operator. We can use in or not in. We've also learned how to work with null values using is null and is not null.